In just over 6 years in Madrid, Rodrygo has already won every major trophy with Real Madrid. He's collected 13 titles so far, and with the team still competing on multiple fronts, that number is likely to grow. Rodrygo, who came from his hometown club Santos, shares his roots with legends like Pelé, Robinho, and Neymar, all of whom began their careers in the iconic white shirt of Santos. Of these stars, the one Rodrygo is most often compared to is Neymar, now his teammate in the national team. But as Rodrygo has shown, while they have much in common, they are also very different. And he's made one thing clear. He doesn't want to become the next Neymar. He wants to be the first Rodrygo. Back in 2005, a 13-year-old Neymar spent nearly 3 weeks at the Santiago Bernabeu. He toured the stadium, took photos with the club's stars, and trained under Madrid's coaches, hoping to follow in Robinho's footsteps, who at the time was leaving Santos to join Real. Neymar made a great impression. Everyone, including Florentino Perez, wanted to bring him in. But despite an agreement between the clubs, Neymar returned to Brazil and stayed at Santos. The next time he came to Madrid, he was wearing the Barcelona shirt. This missed opportunity became a key moment for Florentino Perez, who then made it his personal mission to sign every top Brazilian talent, especially those seen as heirs to Pelé and later to Neymar. That determination was clear when it came to Rodrygo. Madrid's scouts had their eye on him as early as 2014, 4 years before he signed. Just like Neymar, Rodrygo had just turned 13. In Rodrygo's family, football was everything. His father played professionally in Brazil's second division. In one cup match, he even faced Neymar on the pitch. Growing up in that world, Rodrygo often joined his dad at games, soaking in the locker room atmosphere. From early on, it seemed like he was destined to follow the same path. He started in youth teams around São Paulo, then joined the Santos Academy in 2011, at just 10 years old. But like Neymar, he began not with football, but with futsal. The indoor game was his natural playground. His skills were so sharp that at just 11 years old, he became the youngest athlete in the world to sign a sponsorship deal with Nike, 2 years earlier than Neymar did. While his talent mirrored Neymar's, Rodrygo's personality was very different. Neymar was a star before he ever turned professional, always in the spotlight, always making headlines. Some believe that his playful and outgoing nature may have stopped him from becoming the undisputed best in the world. Rodrygo, on the other hand, was known for being calm, mature, and professional beyond his years. Both his club and family shielded him from media attention. He didn't even know about Real Madrid's interest until the transfer documents were already on the table. At that moment, 17-year-old Rodrygo stood in front of 2 jerseys, laid out by his father, one from Barcelona and one from Real Madrid. Years earlier, Neymar had chosen Barca. Rodrygo chose differently. He rejected Barcelona's initial interest and waited patiently for an offer from Madrid. That offer finally came in 2018. Other clubs, like Liverpool, tried to sign him too, but Rodrygo had already turned them down just a year after signing his first professional contract with Santos and making his debut for the senior team. It was a symbolic moment. His first goal for Santos came against none other than Robinho's team, and from that point on, everything started moving incredibly fast. At just 17 years and 50 days old, Rodrygo became the youngest player in Santos's history to appear in a Copa Libertadores match. Just 2 weeks later, he became the youngest Brazilian ever to score in the tournament. Heading into the 2019 season, Rodrygo wore the number 11 shirt, the same number Neymar once wore. And by that time, he already had a contract signed with Real Madrid, just like Vinícius Jr. However, the deal could only take effect after his 18th birthday. So, on June 18, 2019, Rodrygo was officially presented at the Santiago Bernabeu as a Real Madrid player. The transfer fee? 45 million euros, a record for a South American player at the time, until the signing of another Brazilian prodigy, Endrick. From that point, the media attention exploded. The story was too perfect. A young player full of talent, developed at Neymar's old club, now making the leap to Europe. Barcelona had their Neymar. Why couldn't Real Madrid have theirs? And Rodrygo only added fuel to the fire. On September 25, 2019, he made his La Liga debut against Osasuna. Zidane gave him less than 20 minutes. But only 90 seconds after stepping onto the pitch, Rodrygo scored his first goal in a Real Madrid shirt. The real fireworks came a month later in the Champions League, in a group stage match against Galatasaray. Rodrygo scored a hat-trick, becoming the second youngest player in history to do so in the competition and the firstborn in the 21st century. That breakout performance earned him his first call-up to Brazil's senior national team, and not just for any match, for the Super Clásico against Argentina. He finished his debut season in Spain with nearly 30 appearances across all competitions, scoring 9 goals, and more importantly, lifting his first La Liga trophy. But perhaps Rodrygo's most legendary moment came on May 4, 2022. After losing the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against Manchester City, Real Madrid needed a miracle at the Bernabeu. By the 90th minute, they were still trailing 1-0. Then Rodrygo, who had come on 20 minutes earlier, turned the game upside down. He scored twice in just moments, sending the match to extra time and helping Real reach the final, where they defeated Liverpool. The Champions League became Rodrygo's playground. He had started with that hat-trick against Galatasaray and ended his first Champions League campaign with 4 goals and 3 assists in just 5 matches. The next season, he scored a crucial winner against Inter and finished with 5 goals, playing a major role in Real Madrid's run to another European title, this time at the Stade de France. What makes Rodrygo's goals special is when he scores them. Many forwards get criticized for only performing against weaker teams or in less important matches. Rodrygo is different. He shines on the biggest stages, like his goals against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which helped Real reach another semi-final against Manchester City. But in January 2023, his future at Madrid didn't look so bright. He lost his place in the starting lineup under Ancelotti. The low point came in a Copa del Rey match against Villarreal. Substituted early in the second half, Rodrygo walked off refusing to shake hands with the coach. But the way he responded to that moment showed his character, and Ancelotti's calm reaction, choosing not to escalate, helped spark a stunning comeback. In the final 2 months of the season, Rodrygo scored 9 goals, once again in the matches that mattered most. That included another 2 goals at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Then, in the Copa del Rey final against Osasuna, he scored both goals in a 2-1 win. Real Madrid lifted their first Copa since 2014, and Rodrygo was named Man of the Match. That night, Ancelotti took him off again, but this time in the 89th minute, not because he wasn't playing well, but so the fans could stand and applaud. It was a magical evening. By the end of that season, Rodrygo was once again one of Ancelotti's key players. And when Karim Benzema announced his departure to Saudi Arabia, it finally seemed like Rodrygo's moment had come, the time to truly step up. But things didn't go exactly as planned. After scoring in the opening match of the season against Athletic Bilbao, Rodrygo went on a tough run. He went nearly 3 months across 11 league games without scoring a single goal. During that stretch, fans began shifting their focus to the club's new summer signing, Jude Bellingham, who impressed right away with his incredible goal-scoring form. Interestingly, Rodrygo's way out of the slump didn't come at the club level, but with the national team. In a match against Bolivia, he stepped into the spotlight, even outshining Neymar, who broke Pelé's all-time scoring record that day. He also voiced frustration, saying he was being forced to play as a number 9 at Madrid, a role he didn't feel comfortable in. Just when it looked like he had fully returned to form alongside Bellingham, the new year brought another setback. 6 matches without a goal, and only 1 goal in 12 league games. But once again, Rodrygo came back strong, scoring a brace to earn 3 crucial points against Athletic Bilbao and delivering 2 more goals over both legs of yet another dramatic Champions League semi-final clash with Manchester City. By that point, many Real Madrid fans had already started writing him out of the club's future, especially with hopes rising that Kylian Mbappé would finally join in the summer, adding even more firepower to an already crowded forward line. But through it all, Carlo Ancelotti never lost faith. In fact, Rodrygo has become the third most used player in the squad this season, and in return, he's also the team's third highest scorer. With Mbappe now at Real Madrid, comparisons to Neymar have resurfaced. Just as Neymar once lived in the shadow, first of Messi, then of Mbappe, Rodrygo now faces a similar challenge. Already operating in the shadow of Vinícius Jr, he could now be further overshadowed by the same French superstar who once outshined his idol. Still, Rodrygo remains one of the most promising names Real Madrid is betting on for the future. Back in 2020, the day before Brazil played Peru, a 19-year-old Rodrygo was asked about comparisons to Neymar and about wearing the number 10 shirt for Brazil one day. He responded, "Since the beginning of my career, people have called me the new Neymar or the new Robinho. I've always carried that weight, but I want to be the first Rodrygo, not the next Neymar." So now, it's your turn. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about Rodrygo's journey so far? How does he stack up against other Real Madrid forwards, like Vinícius Jr? And how do you see his future now that Mbappé is officially part of the team?